Hi, I'm Erik Linask in the TMC newsroom here on the third day of IT Expo East 2011 down in Miami, Florida. I'm talking this morning with Stefan Karapetkov, who is the Emerging Technologies Director at POLYCOM. Good morning and welcome, Stefan.
Good morning, Erik.
So good to see you again, as always. Like I said, we're on the third day of sessions and exhibit hall here at the show. What have you seen? I know you've participated in a number of sessions. What have you seen here at the show?
Yeah, it was a very busy week, and we had very interesting discussions throughout it. It started on Tuesday with a very interesting discussion around generating revenue with HD video. And that was mostly around the fact that a lot of ITSPs, Internet Telephony Service Providers today, have hosted voice services, and they're looking for ways to expand these services and add video to them. So I basically focused my presentation on how you can do that in a cost-efficient manner without paying a lot of money, having a lot of CapEx spending. And that is related to some cloud services that we're making available now to help these ITSPs to offer video services. And then on Wednesday, I had a discussion around the future of the desktop, and that is a regular discussion at IT Expo. We're always getting together to discuss how is the desktop going to develop, what kind of devices will people use to access voice and video services and UC services in general. So that this time it was mostly around mobile devices, and people were asking questions about tablets and mobile phones and how IT departments will be accommodating that, and which devices will enterprise employees actually use. So I think we found a consensus in that area. And then yesterday, on Thursday, I had several UC interoperability sessions. UC is a very challenging area because we have multiple vendors providing components in UC solutions, and interoperability is very important. So I had the pleasure to represent the UCIF, which is the Unified Communication Interoperability Forum, in these sessions and talk about the philosophy of this organization, the membership, and we're still trying to recruit new members and additional members to the forum. So I think it was a very interesting discussion around interoperability, and we had participants from companies who really believe in interoperability and believe in standards, and I think POLYCOM is leading that group as well. And then yesterday we also had one discussion moderated by Paula Bernier. It was about affordable telepresence, which is kind of an oxymoron in itself, but we tried to explain how the cost of telepresence is going down due to new technology developments, both in the telepresence room itself, but also in the network, where we have now technology that allows us to reduce the bandwidth that we're using to transmit the video signal, which is the biggest problem with telepresence, and still keep the quality high. And that is mostly around the new developments in H.264 high-profile area. So that is pretty much what I saw from the show. I had a chance to see the exhibits and meet a lot of people here. I'm very thankful for inviting me to participate in this event.
Excellent. So one of the things you mentioned was the cloud. How big of an impact? What impact is the cloud and the interest in cloud-based services having on what POLYCOM's doing? The cloud, or the way we address it, is the UC services coming from the cloud is a major focus for POLYCOM. It's one of the 5 pillars of our approach to the market. And the reason for that is that, first of all, we live in a hosted environment, in a cloud environment, with consumer services coming from the cloud, including email from the cloud, Twitter is in the cloud, obviously, Facebook is in the cloud. So people kind of expect that in the enterprise environment, in the UC environment, we'll also have cloud functionality. And it's especially attractive for small, medium businesses because traditionally they couldn't get the same level of functionality, UC functionality, as large enterprises. And the explanation for that is very simple. UC still requires integration of components, and small, medium enterprises or small, medium businesses do not have the expertise and the resources to do these integrations on their own. So they're looking at service providers to solve this problem, get all these systems to work together, and then offer a service that they can pay, and they want to have a predictable cost. So they want to be able to know that at the end of the month, I will be paying so much for that service, and if I don't like my service provider, I can move to another one.
And the market, the cloud market, actually, I was looking at some numbers from the analysts, is developing very well, and the predictions are that it will reach about $6.2 billion by 2014, according to Winehouse. That's specifically for hosted and managed UC services, which is a nice size of a market. We want to play in that market, definitely. We want to lead that market. And we already started working with some of our POCM partners, the POLYCOM Open Collaboration Network partners, to develop cloud services. The first one is the Broad Cloud. I don't know if you saw the announcement in November. BroadSoft and Polycom worked together to develop this service called the Broad Cloud, and it includes a variety of functionality. I'm mostly interested in the video, multi-point video functionality that is embedded in the cloud. So that is a very nice way for, as I mentioned, ITSPs who are not quite sure exactly if they want to jump into the whole video thing. They can use these cloud services to enable multi-point video on a call-by-call basis, basically. So it's not, they don't need to install equipment. They just reroute the calls to the cloud if it's required. And the final element is the cloud technology is very much related to virtualization. So we're spending a lot of effort internally to develop virtualization techniques in our portfolio so that we can make our applications, part of our UC Intelligent Core, server independent, so that you can distribute it across the network and put them on different servers. We already have the first generation of that technology around the DMA 7000 product. It allows you to virtualize the conferencing resources and distribute servers across the network. But we're going even further, making sure that all of our applications, including multi-point video and provisioning, management, all of these wonderful applications that we have in the UC Intelligent Core are virtualized and ready for cloud deployments.
So you mentioned UC services in the cloud as being one area of focus, one of 5 key areas of focus for Polycom. What are the other 4?
Well, the second one on the list is mobility. I think that is, and based on the discussions on ID Expo, I think people agree that mobility will have a huge impact on our market space. And mobility brings with it a different set of requirements, a different set of user experiences as well. So right now we're trying to define the new user experience for UC on mobile devices. We already have a pretty good definition of how UC user interfaces should work in telepresence room, in video endpoints, in telephones, business media phones. But there's still work to be done on the client side, on the soft client side, and also work to be done on the way we are going to bring UC to mobile devices. We have started working with partners in that area. Obviously, we're not going to make our own mobile phones or tablets, but we have developed software that can run on these existing devices. And we announced a partnership with Samsung to provide video technology for the Galaxy tablet, and I think that is a good start. We will continue working in that direction to enable UC and bring UC to mobile devices. Another pillar of our approach to the market is the UC Intelligent Core, and I mentioned that we use the term UC Intelligent Core to make sure that we describe exactly what we mean. When in the past we would say infrastructure, and infrastructure is kind of an abstract term. And sometimes people, understand routers and switches as a network infrastructure. In our case, we're talking about UC functionality in the network. So UC Intelligent Core includes functions like, as I mentioned, multi-point conferencing, provisioning of all of our devices, also all sorts of management functions, calendaring, scheduling, all of these applications that go along with voice and video in that space. So the UC Intelligent Core has been a focus of Polycom. We continuously increase the scalability, reliability, manageability of these solutions. We always pick architectures that can scale. For example, our multi-point conferencing server is based on the ATCA architecture that is the most scalable available architecture, hardware architecture. And then beyond that, we're using these virtualization techniques that I talk about to make sure that you can create a pool of conferencing resources and distribute your
servers across the network. Everything is redundant in our network. Everything is has a hot standby and failover capabilities. So I think we're in a very good shape to use the UC intelligent core to create robust, reliable, scalable cloud services. And the remaining two components, one is around innovation in the area of UC user interfaces, UC experiences. There's a lot of work to be done in that area. Interoperability is still a very hot topic, and I realized that on Wednesday we had 2 sessions around UC interoperability, and that's why we're so engaged in the UCIF. We're actually a founding member, and we have quite a lot of people committed to spend time and work in the different groups and chair some of the activities, and I'm personally involved in a lot of these activities as well. I think the last one I have is the UC ecosystem. The UC ecosystem is our partner ecosystem, and it includes companies like Microsoft, IBM, Juniper, Avaya, Siemens, and Broadsoft, for example. And every quarter we bring new solutions and improved solutions that closer integrate the POLYCOM solution with these partners. For example, in this quarter we are rolling out a very close integration with Juniper in the area of quality of services. So we basically work with them to make sure that all the telepresence traffic that is sensitive to delays in the networks and packet loss is handled properly in the Juniper network environment. In the area with Microsoft, we have a very close relationship, and there were multiple announcements throughout the fourth quarter about things we're doing with the Link server, for example, close integration with Exchange, with Outlook, Link, SharePoint, to improve the overall experience. Because we realize that a lot of people are using Microsoft products in the enterprise environment, we want to make sure that video is not a separate application. We want to make sure that it's integrated with the Microsoft user interfaces in this environment. In terms of IBM, Lotusphere is running this week in Orlando, and we have huge presence there. We have a very good integration with SameTime, and we're continuing to work in that direction. We also continue to support our integration and develop our integrations with Avaya Aura, Siemens OpenScape, and Broadsoft. I already mentioned we have a very good working relationship with them that started back in 2002. We're adding these new cloud capabilities and making sure that new video capable devices can connect successfully to the BroadWorks platform.
Excellent. Well, sounds like things are as busy as ever over at POLYCOM. Stefan, I appreciate you taking the time this morning. Certainly enjoy the rest of the show. We have one exciting day left. I've been talking here at the Miami Beach Convention Center with Stefan Karapetkov from POLYCOM.
Thanks for inviting me. Thank you.